It's always so fun to see you do that. Just as before we go live, you start taking out your camera and filming me dancing and jumping around.
Oh, it's always so good.
It's always evil, you know that, right?
No, I think everyone enjoys it. It brings the energy. Okay, let me make sure I'm live on my Instagram as well while you do the recap. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. I hope everyone is amazing.
We started late today, so
Yeah.
apologies from us.
And you can blame me. You can absolutely blame me for being late today. The last 24, 48 hours have been very hectic for me with work and helping people. Let's just summarize it that way, right, Ice? And other people helping me as well. I love that concept when you have something you're rushing really hard for and like you call in favors and people just jump on board and help you. But lack of sleep is a common theme for the last 48 hours for me. So I'll have to recover that later in the week.
Yeah, you can be a little more specific. You're tired because you're pouring so much into your coaching business and the
Yeah,
clients
I
that
can
you're
be open with that. So I'm pouring into people, but I'm also pouring into recently after we started doing all these social media about 3 months ago. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it at that point in time. But now there's a lot of people who have reached out and said, hey, can't you coach and mentor me? Or I see what you're doing with Ice. I see what you're doing with Rosie, with Vina, and a few other people. And now I have a long list of people who want to work with me. And I'm trying to figure out what that is. Because I still have a job as a full-time CEO for a tech company. So this is something I'm supposed to do on evenings and weekends. So I'm trying to balance that. But with that said, I do have opening for a few more people I can help. So that's what I've been trying to figure out who I'm going to pick here. So more information to come soon. Okay, Ice, we are doing weekly coaching sessions. And I'm finally home again. I'm not sitting in a hotel room in Vegas. And I don't know. Yeah, you can all see the screen here. The concept here, to just do a quick recap, is that Ice came to me, and what she was really trying to figure out is what do I do? What do I start doing? What do I stop doing? And what is it that I continue doing? So start, stop, continue. That was sort of how she was also expressing it and how I coach others. But in order to get to that, because she is in such a fluid environment right now, I wanted to do a recapture or sort of get an outline on what are all the things in her life right now. Where is she spending her time? How many hours is she spending on all the things? And what are the priorities in her life? And then from that, we did a quick overview of where is she at today? Where does she want to go? And how much hours can she shift around? So, and then we talked a lot about, in the last two sessions, we talked a lot about this value of life and then financial value, but you have to build financial value before you can sort of live out your dreams. And then we talked about things that she focuses on privately, personally, and professionally. From that, in the last session, we started talking about creating a vision board. And we started talking about how important it is for Ice to understand where is she going in the next couple of years. And I asked her a question where for her to imagine herself, I think we decided on Bali and we decided on New Year's Eve and we decided on eating Thai food and with 50 of her friends. And we went down a path where she was giving a speech telling them how amazing the last 2 years have been, how amazing the journey have been. And what I was trying to help Ice with is sort of visualize what her dream state is from an emotional and financial perspective and what she can afford to do. And by doing so, hopefully now in the next step, start breaking that down into yearly targets, to quarterly targets, weekly, monthly, daily, hourly targets. Where is she? So is she spending energy where she should? And the question here, or the comment here, is concentrated efforts gives concentrated results. And success doesn't come from one big event in the life. It comes from a step of many small decisions and items that she is making that will get her there one day. Is this summing it up so far, Ice?
Yeah, that was great. I'm now just writing what you said.
basically trying to create awareness. I think Elena, coach, Rosie says it as well, also coach. They often talk about that just becoming aware is sort of the key to a lot of things. And what I'm trying to do here with you guys is forcing you into a process that will make you aware. So when you're in the moment and you have distractions and or you focus on things that you shouldn't be focusing on, you're at least making a conscious decision, not a subconscious decision to focus on something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean with concentrated efforts leads to concentrated results. By the way, hi Rosie, I saw you jumped on the call, and yes, you can always blame me for unnecessary things.
Where do you see that? On Facebook?
It's the separate. She wrote. No, she actually said blame is unnecessary, Andreas. So maybe I read that the wrong way. I don't want to create another hashtag blame Nick or hashtag blame Andreas. Anyway, Ice, before we jump in, can you tell me a little bit about, you took several of these black and white post-it notes here. Is there anything else I missed that we should recapture from those?
I think for those watching, it's important to do it on their own, because the way that he described my vision might not be the same for you. He was talking about how other clients he has might be money motivated. So he'll talk about larger numbers and visualizing those numbers in their bank account. So just going back to knowing your values and what's important to you to help motivate you then to create this vision board and then have a visual representation of your values. That's how I take it.
Yeah, awesome. And then the other thing you have wrote there is images that visualize your success, and then start every morning by take one photo of it, start every morning, open that image and look at it to sort of set the mood and create the first visualization techniques of the day should be focused on sort of where you're going, because then you're consciously making an effort to get there. And I think we also shared a link the last time, one of my absolute favorite visualization speeches by Mel Robbins, where she emphasizes the importance of that. I don't know if we shared that in the last video. If not, we can do it in this video afterwards when we post it. But I think that video is amazing and everyone should be doing it, and I do it, and it's transformational. This is the visualization technique is partly how I've got through some of the hardest struggles in my life, by just filling my brain with positivity of what I will achieve one day. So again, creating laser focus, not just focus like here are all my items, I have focus, I have clarity. No, but laser focus. Any other reflections from last week, guys? A little slower start here, but I want to make sure everyone listening understands sort of where we came from. And now this has been a process that's been going on for a few weeks.
Reflections and thoughts. I think my first thought goes to actionable items that I can do to stay focused on what we think is best, whether that be just money-making activities or like whatever niche we define.
I'll give you a quick tip, because
Okay.
I don't think you do this. I would create a calendar blocker during lunch for 15 minutes or 30 minutes in your calendar every single day, that midday you reflect on, have my actions this morning been reflective of my vision and my vision board? Then I think at 5 p.m. you should have another 15 minutes where you don't take meetings and you reflect on what you have been doing throughout the entire day, sort of like a daily postmortem, and then write down notes for yourself that you then look in the third calendar invite, which you have in the first 15 minutes of your day. So what I see many people do is they schedule meeting from 8 a.m. and they just go hardcore, meeting after meeting after meeting, thing after thing after thing. But what I want you to do is schedule like 8 to 8:15 or whatever fits your life and your calendar, and really have 15 minutes every morning where you look at the notes from the day before of what it is that you want to be focusing on today. And that takes away a lot of stress from remembering from day to day to stay focused. And it also gives you a structure and a reflection points throughout the day, end of the day, and in the morning to make sure that you're having laser focus and doing the right thing.
Okay. So you can see on the mirror board down there, I'm in pink. You said reflect on what?
I need to move the screen. My bad. And by the way, if you click when you're in the mirror board at the same time, you can just click on the top right and you can call to attention, and then sort of I will move mine automatically along with you. Or like I can say, if I click like this, I'm following you. So if you move the board around, technically you move me around as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
So morning reflection, midday reflection, end of day reflection. And the reflection is, have I done all that I can at this point of the day? It's a quick question. It can be 5 minutes, but it's just that if you put a 5 minutes in your calendar, it won't show big enough where you will remember that you have it there. So that's why I say 15 minutes. It's just a visual thing. But it's like, what have I done to take one step further towards my vision and what I want to achieve this morning? So basically what you reflect on, because what we're building up you for in all of this. So normally, okay, let me say this in a different way. When I help or mentor people, and also for myself, I always operate after a start, stop, continue list when it comes to tasks. Little different list when it comes to emotional and software intelligence development, but start, stop, continue. What I'm trying to get you to think of and reflect of every single day, 3 times a day, is what do I start in the next few hours? Or if I have time, what's the one thing I can start? What did I need to stop doing that I was doing this morning that no longer is adding value? Or even like I chose to binge watch Netflix to way past midnight last night. That's probably something you want to stop doing. If you want to achieve your goal, concentrated efforts gives concentrated results. And then the last thing is, what do you want to continue doing? Like, what is it that you're doing in your life that is giving you fulfillment and other things? Or what did you do this morning? Let's say that you booked a trip in the morning and that took you an hour. That's fine. You're going to continue doing that because it gives you both joy, but also maybe financial freedom one day. So many people that I have helped in the past that have been a leader for the last 5 to 10 years, and they have been sort of learned to really manage themselves, they naturally operate with a start, stop, continue list. That's very common in the corporate world, that people always have that, because your to-do list, when you have been in the corporate world for a long time and you have a lot of leadership responsibility or manager responsibility, is that there will always be more things that you should do and you should all over yourself rather than that you will ever have time for. And that's why the second thing that then ends up happening for people is that they tend to just do things because that's what they always have been doing. So sometimes, even if they know the start, stop, continue list, you have to reintroduce it to people to remind them, like, is it really good for you to have this daily meeting with this one person where you spend 25 minutes out of the 30 just talking about what you did with your kids last night? Or is it better that you stop that meeting and you take an ad hoc meeting instead when needed? Do you understand? So I want you to start thinking of everything in your life in terms of business as a start, stop, continue. And back to what Rosie, Elena, several other people are saying, awareness in the moment is how you make the change. Is this resonating with you or anyone on the call? I don't know how many people are listening. Kind of an odd time, early.
We got a little less people this morning. But if
That's okay.
You're listening and it's been helpful, can you please drop a thumbs up so you can know? Another thing is, can you zoom in a little closer, because on Instagram it doesn't go full screen. Thank you. Just for them to see. Okay. Oh, we got one.
Yeah. Sarah.
Good morning.
Sarah, Tommy, a few other people commented. Nikki.
I appreciate you guys joining us every Thursday. It's been fun.
Yeah. And you see our Instagram, probably. I don't think we see the same target audience.
No.
Maybe you have the number one hype person in the world, Jade, on yours.
No, I'm missing her. I don't know where she's at. She's moving this week, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of things is coaching is usually about just creating awareness and helping the other people create awareness for them, and then being an accountability buddy and push them beyond what they feel comfortable doing themselves. So that's the same thing. You can call it accountability buddy, coaching, mentoring, all of that, but it's creating knowledge and awareness to just move faster. Okay, so if we know why are we doing this, all of this, so I actually think one thing before we can continue doing the vision board here and talking about, I understand you can't be copy pasting in your images here right now, or maybe you can, Ice, quickly just Google them and copy them in. But I actually think we should start getting a few pictures in, like picture of Bali, picture of Thai food, picture of friends eating at the beach, or whatever we decided there. But then another thing, I want to ask you this first. You know how we talked about core values? And we talked about every business will probably have a little bit different core values, but core values of how you show up is most likely going to be the majority of the business you run's core value as well.
Core values of how I show up will be the
core values of who you are and how you show up.
Will be
so let
me.
me give you an example. So what are the words that so if I say my core value, like I have at Arclease, a business, we have certain core values, resilience and curiosity and a couple of other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those happen to be two of my core values as well. But if you ask me, what is my core values? Like when I show up for you, or I show up for a friend, or I make a decision in my life, what are the 3 words that most represent who I am and what I believe? So my 3 core values are love, curiosity, and resilience. And I need to explain what those are, but I want you to, I want to get you your 3 core values. So
Okay.
why did I pick those? Love in the sense of integrity and agape love and pragmatic love, and you and I have talked about that before. And again, English language lack a lot of words for love, while European languages have many words for love. For me, love in the sense, like, I want to make deeper connection with people, and agape love, like unconditional love, doesn't have romantic or sexual love or anything like that, but I really care. I want people, I rather have very few people in my life that I really care for. Love is the wrong word, but it's like a pragmatic love. I care for them in a deeper way than care. So that's something how I want to show up. It's a quality, not a quantity game in my life. The second one is curiosity for me, and that's because I'm curious on other people. I'm curious about myself. I'm curious about my softer skills, and I'm curious of who you are and what can I do to help you. So that's just naturally in my DNA, that I ask questions, or I want to teach, or I want to mentor. Like, I want to help people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you following so far? So that's why curiosity is my number 2, and my number 3 is resilience. And I believe that the more you work on healing your wounds to turn them into scars, and from the scars then build your muscles of who you are and how you show up, and understand more of yourself, the more resilient you become. The more resilient you are, the more you can master anything in life. The more you master things in life, the better results you get, the better happier you become. So just to sum it up again, my 3 words are love, curiosity, and resilience. And now that you know me, Ice, you know how that is how I show up. Or sorry, I should ask you, is that how I show up?
Yes, it is how you show up.
So, and that's what I believe is, like, it's not something I want to be, it's who I am.
I want to be.
By the way, Sarah said 100% agree. I'd rather have fewer friends. I think she says friends, but deeper relationships. When I was younger, quantity was more important. Now it's quality and deep, philosophical, caring relationships. So, Ice, how do you show up? What are your 3 loves, or 3 words, or 5 words?
How do I show up?
or how do you go about in life picking those topics? And the reason why I want to do this first before we create the vision board is I believe that how you show up in these core values have to be a key part of your vision.
Part of me, like when you say resilience, part of me thinks of determination. I'm kind of just going to talk out loud. They aren't set in stone.
That's fine. I'll take a few notes. Like, and you can come up with 10 items. We just have to, like, whatever comes to your mind of things, patterns you seem to be coming back to, and that is sort of who you are.
Another question I have before we continue is, what is the goal for today that we're going to end on our life?
We will end on starting to create a vision board.
Okay.
I want to capture your core values of how you show up. And then I want to start breaking down your vision into a plan. But I don't think we will have time to do that. But that is the next step. And basically breaking down we have to settle on the 2-year vision in order for you to have the 1-year target and the quarterly targets.
Okay.
And this is not Biani, unless we choose to make it about Biani. I think we made it about Biani, but we also mixed in your personal life a little bit here. But we can make a vision board for Biani, or we can make a vision board for you, Ice. But I think you actually selected Biani last time we talked.
True branding.
Oh, true branding. Yeah, you selected true branding, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then back to what is your 3 values, and then I want to get into, are there any other values that you think true branding should represent in addition to the first 3?
Okay, that's a good question. My second thought is curiosity.
I agree.
Like, what happens if we have the same? I think agape is a big one for me. I don't know if it's my top 3, but
I'm just going to write it.
Mm-hmm.
Connection is another word of saying deep, meaningful connections is another way of saying it. I added a few words that I think
limitless mindset.
That represents you just from an outside-in perspective. So I'm helping you a little bit here. What other words?
I said determination. Yeah, I was going to say joy, not happy.
You seek happiness and joy in everything you do. Mm-hmm. Glass is always half full for mm-hmm. you. What else?
Optimistic. Well, believe.
Yep. I agree with all of these. What did you say, belief?
Yeah, I said belief.
Yeah, I agree. All of these are how I would describe you as well. I think, if I may add a word for you, I don't know if I would put mastery, but there is something about you about it's not a competitiveness, but you care for outcomes, results, like
excellence.
Excellence. Thank you. That is a word, because you are, and sometimes I have to push you out of the excellence mindset. That's why I comment on it. It's all the core values are good and bad. There is always a little negative attached to each one of them.
Yeah, I don't think it's perfectionism, but very, very blurred line.
Yeah, so I called it excellence. Let's keep that. But I will write.
Let's keep it positive.
I'm going to put in, no, perfectionist can be positive. It's what you make of it and your awareness around it. Okay, so those are yours. Give me a couple of words that you think true branding clients would care about.
Individualization.
What else?
I think care is too broad of a word, but like that we care for their success and their experience.
Customer care. Now, care is fine. I agree with you. They want to feel they want to feel like I got you.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I think results.
Results is a big thing, yeah. Growth.
growth. Anything else?
Ask the question again, please.
What is it that true branding, if we surveyed all the true branding clients you currently have and that you will have, that you wish to have, what do you believe they will say are core values of how they want you and true branding people to show up every single time they have an interaction?
Transparent, not transparent communication, but
yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I don't like, this is how quickly you have to do it. We don't have to spend more time on this now.
Okay, continue.
Done. What you then do is you do a blended version of these two.
Okay.
And you try to boil it down to about 5 that represent both who you are and how you show up, as well as how your customers are expecting you to show up. Okay, so now that we have done that, let's actually create like a high-level vision board. Awesome, Bali. Like, just do a copy-paste exercise and spend a few seconds doing that, just so we get... I just want you could have done this as a homework, but I know you were also crazy busy. We both were last week. But if you just add 2 more pictures that represents what you want to go for.
In my company vision board or my personal vision? Company, true branding.
And if you can multitask, I'll ask you 2 years from now, how many clients, if you dream, do you have?
Okay, that's a little harder for me. Like, do I dream of having that many clients, like the amount of clients, or is it the success of the clients I have?
Okay. Quality versus quantity. I like that. So which one do you prefer? Many clients or high ticket clients?
I would rather have less, high ticket. I'd rather have less clients with great results than more clients, or the large quantity of clients.
So you basically, and that's back to relationship, and you value impacting. So how many people, let's say that each one of them paid you $5,000 a month. How many do you think that how big would you like to build your business? How many clients would you think that you could have? So 5,000 a month is 60,000 a year. You want this to be a multi-million-dollar business probably. So, and then let's just, for math wise, I have no clue what your margin is, but let's say it's 20% just for, or 30% or 40, like, I don't care. Okay. How many clients? Let's do a quick math example. So you want 20 clients?
Oh, no. In 2 years?
These are not easy to answer. I'm just trying to create a hypothesis, a straw man, and then we backtrack that into plans.
Jermaine is sending you flowers. He's saying the questions you're asking are, the comments say goated, like it's goat emojis and fire emojis. Just letting you know.
I'll take it. Now we got hype person Jadon. Yay! So now the chat will really start going.
So you asked me how many clients do I want in 2 years, or is it better than knowing the units, how much money I want to make in 2 years?
No, yeah, let's backtrack. What's your salary? What's your yearly salary? $500,000?
I don't.
$1 million?
Okay. It's the fact that I don't really know what I don't know, and I know that the salary itself does not equate to my freedom, because like
Yeah, okay. So okay. I think if you really put an effort into this, you can easily make $500K a year.
As my salary.
Yeah, salary. I'm just showing you how to sort of build bottom up or top down. Like, again, I don't know all of these numbers. I haven't built a brand company, but I can guess, like, this for $500K a year, you have a good life for your age, like a really good life. I would say, but I don't want you to shoot too low. So I would say if you even get half of that, you have a good life.
Okay.
but I want you to shoot for, to be honest, I would like you to shoot for $1 million, but let's start 500 just to do, we can do a low, mid, high.
No, let's
Just
do it.
so let's start with 500. Okay. So now you say that the final profit margin of your business, once you're up and running, you have high ticket items, these people pay you 5K a month. You now, and let's say, how much do you make? Let's say the percentage is, okay, realistically, after you've been growing your business, you have a, do we want to do word? Let's do word bad. Let's do 30% margin, roughly, right? So if we
Yes.
take 500,000 and we divide it with, after you paid salaries and everything else, no, let's say 0.3. That means your business needs to pull in 1.7, let's say 1.7 million, if you are at a 30% margin. So you did 1.7 million and your salary was 500. Again, I'm just making a fictive example. We have no clue in reality where this will end and high ticket paying item. So you need 1.7. And when I say margin, just for clarification here, first you pay your employees, right? You pay for all your costs. And once you have paid that, you pay yourself. So I'm assuming up to this point that you don't take a salary, like it's zero, and you have, after you paid all your other expenses, your profit in the company is 30%. It might be less, it might be more, it depends. I'm trying to just give a high level example of how to think about it. So let's say that
margin comes before yourself.
No, you can pay your salary. You can pay your own salary, and you most likely will. But just for the math example, it's easier to build it bottom up to say you don't pay your salary at all.
Okay.
Until you hit a certain number, but you pay everyone else, and then all the money you get in, all the profit margin you just keep in the company. Like let's pretend you just keep it in an account, and once you hit this level, you start taking a salary, you start taking that 30% or whatever it is.
Right.
But let's even say that your business do 2 million a year.
Okay.
And let's say that we divide that with 12, so 2 million divided with 12. How much do you think you can get a high ticket item up to? 3,000, 4,000, 5,000?
Depends on what we're providing service wise.
So again, 2 years from now, you're not
10.
organically building it.
Okay, 10.
10?
Mhm.
Okay, if that's the case, you need 16 clients, 16, to have that salary. Because what I do is I said, let's say that you make $2 million. I divide that over 12 months, right? Because they pay monthly, 10K. And then you divide, so that's 166,000 a month revenue in. You with me so far?
Following.
Or that's and then you divide that with 10,000. So now that's 17 clients. 10,000 a month. I'm just doing back. We will do this on a spreadsheet and we can share some of the models we're building. So if I said it in a different way, now, if you know that's the case, I'm saying if you have this and you have roughly the margins and all of that, you can pay yourself $500,000. So that's about 25%. Again, I'm super rough, Ice, right?
Correct.
So so your clients, let's say that your average today, I assume your client sits around 2,000, 3,000 per client per month.
Average, conservatively, let's go 2.
2. Okay. So if that's the case, then the first question to you, so now we created a vision, you know your core values, you have a rough idea of the numbers, like we will change these numbers like 50 to 100 times before we get there. But today, so now the next thing you need to put in is like, where are you at today? And today you're at a 2,000 per client per ticket, and you have roughly 10 clients, I'm guessing. So if that, okay, but just please for math, let's say you have 10. So, so that means today you're operating, what is it, 10 clients roughly. times 2. So let's say that it gets you 20,000 in per month times 12. So you have a $240,000 business today. So you need to 10x your business in terms of revenue, but the amount of clients maybe need to double as well.
Mm-hmm.
So then my question to you would be, okay, if that's true, do you in the next 6 months envision you with your existing clients increasing the price, or do you envision yourself adding more clients?
It's mutually exclusive here.
Pick one. If I were to advise you, I would say it's more important to add more clients at this point to
Yeah.
prove the business model, scale it. So now, like if we move in, I don't keep up with the Miro board here today. 2
It's okay.
seconds.
I'm tracking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that, oh, are you keeping up? So 10 clients, yeah, 20K. So the first, but just doing this exercise backwards, you now are at a stage where you need to start focusing on adding more clients. So customer acquisition is probably one of the key things you got to focus on. So how might you get more clients? And I think referrals and proof points are the key thing for you to get even more clients. And then from that, I would also start encouraging your clients to any referrals you give me, I'll give you 20% off on your next month bill. So anytime you close a new customer, you give them something, but 20% discount is usually what people are expecting. Some people give that over the lifetime in the type of business you do, where
Mm-hmm.
they say, if I bring you an account, I will get 20% for the lifetime as long as that account sticks with you. But you can come up with whatever model you want to use. But I think if you grow your business to about 20 customers, Ice, what's going to happen is that half of them will probably dwindle off over time, and the other half will be so happy with your service that they will want to increase their spend with you and get more value. You show them the value, and now they want to do more and more and more.
Understood.
So next 6 months, customer acquisitions, referral, proof points, all of that. You can start using me as a proof point on the numbers.
Will do.
And then once you have that, I think so in the next 12 months, in the next, or 6 to 12 months, so you like not 0 to 6, but 6 to 12, you need to start thinking of what are the value add packages that my current clientele are interested in. So what you have to now do is start asking them and be very curious, which is back to one of your core way of how you show up, is being curious about what is it that they're looking for and what can you do to help them. So I don't say survey them, but I'm saying like ask them and also help them understand like what has been working for you in the first 6 months. What do you want to see? What type of results do you want to see? If you could dream, like you went from 1,000 to 10,000 followers and you had so much more conversion and you had so much, so you outline the data for them and you say, if you could dream, how does that look like? And then push the question on to them, and then they will dream. They will come up with the metrics that they want to achieve. And then you have a perfect, because now you're creating FOMO, but you're also creating, they are imagining where they want to go. And what you're now doing is saying, okay, if that's the case, we have to start doing this, this, and that. And then you will understand that extra work means extra payment. It's like now you're going to tell them, like, I get you from 10,000 to 100,000. I get you from 1% conversion to 10% conversion. But I need you to then do the following. I need you to post 3 times a day. I need you to go live twice a day. I need you to and just keep. Sorry, that was my reminder.
That's
And
me.
we need. What I'm trying to say is, like, you need to build up that sort of narrative with them. It's sales, really. So the key thing here is, like, I think to scale your business tomorrow, in order for you to, I'm fast tracking now, to get to your vision, sales, more customers, get curious on the customers, understand the life cycle of the customer, understand what their true dreams are. Once you have showed them the good value and everything you provide, how do you get them to the next level and the next level? Make them dream bigger and bigger and bigger. This is classical sales. Have them create the want in their head, and you provide the service that gets them what they're looking for.
Heard.
You're very quiet today.
No, I'm internalizing. It also just went on. It's
And
it
you're
went
taking
down.
notes.
Yeah, I can't multitask. I can't be like.
Thank you, Jada. She's like she's hyping up now. I've been missing her comments.
I know.
So big thanks to Isa for sharing these numbers. And then she's just about seeing the growth of true branding. She's applauding. And she says high performance coach indeed. I'm just trying to show Ice the sort of the steps of how to get to her vision and how to think here. Because I think then in month 12 to 24, now you have, at least if you attracted 20 customers, and in the 0 to 6 or 20 or even 30, and then half of them dwindled off, and you got curious and you showed the result, you had them dream bigger, and now you're upselling them for the next in month 6 to 12. Now in month 12 to 24, you're converting and getting, like, now you're converting it into that business that allows you to go where you want to go in month 24. But that means you got to convert them. In order for you to have that dinner that you really want, you do realize you got to convert them into that business after 12 months. Maybe we said 3 years. But that means that in the next 6 months, you got to get to one milestone, and then you got to convert them into high-paying customers between month 6 to 12, and then 12 to 24, you make the money, because this is a recurring business model, not an upfront one-time payment, not a capex business model. Which means if you want to have the $2 million business after year 2, you got to enter year 2 with that monthly recurring revenue.
Not consistently for the 12 months though, just like at some point before.
No, if you want that number and pick out that salary, they need to be in month 13. You need to be at the pay rate we talked about. You can do it. Like, I'm no doubt. And this is very conservative numbers. Like, we're being super conservative on some numbers.
Yeah.
Now, me personally, if I were to just like the numbers here, I think getting to 5,000 a client is more achievable in that time frame if you are really grounded.
Correct.
Which means that you need to double your customer count. So you need to be at 30, which means that you need to probably have had 50 clients, grow to 50 clients in the next 12 months for you to have 35K clients. That would be my gut feel just looking at the numbers.
Did we say 35?
Roughly. I'm just throwing, we can listen. I'm just, again, and what I would have you do, again, I'm just trying to give you like super high level here thought process. Then when you and I meet later this week, offline, we'll model this and we'll do a low, mid, high. And then I'm going to push you to go for the high number and even high times 5.
And then I think what would be beneficial to me and to everyone else who's also modeling their own vision board here is what does this look like in terms of my team, my hires?
Thank you. And that's the next step. So now we're only looking at revenue, and I'm going to say something. You're going to be like, why is he saying that 5 times?
Okay.
Because so many people screw this up in business, even if they are like very senior executives. I've seen this screw up this. So pay full attention. Cliffhanger. Are we ready? Revenue is not cost. 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 What people do is they start with the cost and they think, what can I afford? How much revenue do I have to? And what I'm trying to say here is like, no, build the dream of where you want to go. Look at the salary you want to have. Build the revenue model first. Then build a plan for how many people do I need to get there? And how can I afford them? Because what I see many people do over and over and over again is like fear-based management, where they're like, yeah, and I have to have 5 people. I want to learn how to lead 5 people. And yeah, that's going to be hard. And I need to focus on how do I make sure I maintain them and they're happy. And like now they're fear-based mindset and they're so incredibly focused on organic fear-based growth. That's why I want you to think vision first. I want you to think like, what is my salary? Revenue is not cost. There is in financially a cost prediction model and a revenue prediction model, your cash flow model. Like all of these are different. People always think cost before revenue. So we got to think revenue first. Sorry, people people are going to say, I'm going to be hearing this in my dreams tonight. And then the other one, what is Jada saying? I'm internalizing all this. Say it louder for the people in the back. Pace just spoke about this yesterday. Okay, I didn't know that.
Christy said profit first mindset, pay yourself first.
Yeah, exactly.
I think reviewing this again and really emphasizing this next Zoom would be helpful because we just briefly discussed.
Yeah, so let's build, when we meet up later this week, let's just build you the high-level revenue model.
Hey, Gianna.
And once we have the high revenue model, we can, I don't say you have to show it here, but we can at least talk about it. Yeah, revenue is not cost. But anyway, so what I'm saying is like, and then people are like, yeah, but the P&L, the profit loss is, or the margin is. But as soon as you talk margin, and I know I started there just for quick math, but I actually started with the vision board and how much salary you want. Mm-hmm. As soon as you think margin, or profit loss, it's a blend between revenue and cost. And then you're anchoring yourself in the wrong mindset. So I'm trying to like, how do we build up the revenue model first? And then we look at, do you have a sustainable business from a cost perspective in order for you to, so you pay we build the revenue model and now you pay yourself first. Like I take out my salary and then you go, how can now I afford all the other people that have to deliver this?
Okay, that's not what I'm doing right now.
So I know. I'm shifting your mindset.
Yeah.
I know you're paying yourself last right now, but I'm trying to say that that's because I want to change that, Ice. So that's what I'm trying to say.
It's crazy that I've learned that you should pay yourself first since I started entrepreneurship and I still don't implement it. And like the amount of things that people probably hear all the time and still don't do. Yeah.
And I have told you, so I know that, but here's the thing, you just started. So when you just start, you have to build so it's always the same way. Like find your beachheads, your one customers who really love your product.
Beachheads?
Beachheads or raving fans, if you Google these. Beachheads or raving fans, the person, like that's me in your business, Ice, right? Like I'm like, hey, have you heard of Ice? She's amazing. Here's why. And a lot of people have started coming to you because I am a big fan of what you're doing, right? And you have shown with my profile and my reach the big change, right? So you have the proof point and I'm talking about it. That's always what you do. Find like build the first product, find your first beachhead or your first raving fan. Then they will organically start helping you get more. Then you get into sales. Like now you're in a point where you got to focus, you got to get into sales, you got to acquire more customers. I want to see you. I'm going to push you on start putting out ways to capture more leads. You know, all of the digital marketing and all of that, your expertise, not mine. Like we need to get more people in. Like I can barely get you to on a Zoom call or other ways say, I'm looking for more clients. But every time I hear it, others are saying, Ice business is amazing. You should go talk to her. So we got to get you to believe in your product, which is phenomenal. I know you believe in it, but we got to practice your pitch there.
Yes.
Then you got to get in sales. You got to get the 10 to 20 customers to get enough mass. Once you have enough mass and proof point, and you started understanding what it is in your business that is resonating with people for real, now you are telling them, okay, sell them the dream of what they can become and have them slowly over time be an upsell opportunity. But we got to get you into a sales marketer mindset, not only execution mindset.
Okay.
And you know that is your background. By the way, I missed. Where did you go here?
Questions. I'm writing down. So next time I want to talk about how to build a team around these goals. And the questions that came in my head were, right now I have a fear-based mindset around employee life cycle. Yep. Like the people I bring on and how long they'll really stay. And then I had another one. Sticking to my zone of genius, because I'm still kind of like doing the role or like helping the people in other roles, and I can't focus all my time on lead acquisition.
I know, but we gotta then figure out who can.
Thank you.
Or who is referring customers to you. How do we get you more awareness? Because the service and what you're providing, like, I love working with people that are little newer, because you get great customer service and you get attention, and you're not just a cookie cutter. Like, you really get a customized experience, and that's what you're providing us.
Yes.
And that's why, like, I personally think people should have FOMO of missing out working with you now, because 2 years from now, they are not going to be your clients. But if they grow up with you, I know you will honor that and they will get more value out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we should talk about it the next time. But it is what you have to do before that. So your homework is finish the vision board for real. So you can talk about it when we start next time. Revenue model needs to be done. And we need to have made a high level cost model. And I know in this discussion, I backtracked into what salary can you get and want to get by doing a quick margin calculation. Already there, I anchored you, and that's not good from a think big perspective. But I wanted to, just for this call, quickly get it out of your head. Like I said, we're fast tracking through this. Normally, I would force you to finish the vision board. I would force you to say, like, what lifestyle do you have? How do you live your normal day? How much do you travel? What type of expenses do you have? What is it that you give yourself? Like, that would be part of the vision work we do. And once we have that, it's like, okay, what salary do you need? And then we take that 2 or 3x. And then that's what we now build a business around. Did that make sense?
Yes.
But I'm just fast tracking big time. And also, I know you from where you want to go and what you want to achieve.
Right. And it's helpful too, just for time's sake, and the fact that I take a long time to think through questions and I ask all the questions around the question. So it's helpful.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get you a straw man end-to-end model, so you know what you're doing is the right thing, and then you will get the actual numbers over time.
Thank you. We got great comments on Instagram as well. Great dialogue, guys. So impactful. Bunch of fire emojis. Christy asked, is beachheads a Swedish thing?
I don't know. Now I have to Google that. Don't you say that?
No. We don't say a lot of the things you say.
Beachhead, a defined position and taken from the enemy by landing forces from which the attack can be landed. Maybe I use it the wrong way.
Christy said she's never heard of that.
Okay.
So I want to be mindful of your time. Are you good? I know you had something. And
here, listen to this. Small border area is referred to as a beachhead. In business, the idea is to focus your resources on a small market area, such as a product or a category, to turn it into a stronghold before advancing to the broader market in your product and service strategy. Aha! Boom! It is simpler. Because we use it in business. Like, it's narrow focus. Here, I'll copy paste the definition.
Interesting.
So we use it when we talk, like that's why I was like, but we use it in the office. I got confused there. Whoops, that was not what I was going for. Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
So it's a way, what I'm trying to say, when I say laser focus, that's what I mean. I mean like measure and become successful in as narrow customer segment as you possibly can, and then take the adjacent customer segment and expand your business that way.
Interesting.
We use it all, like I said, we use it in the office. So I know it's like, because when we talk about going into a vertical, let's say we're going into healthcare. By the way, I have to end this live. When we talk about going into healthcare, because I'm 10 minutes late, we don't say, okay, but that's too big. Like, what's the beachhead sub vertical? Is it like the local urgent care center? That would then be, okay, local urgent care center in Orange County, local urgent care in Irvine. Like let's anchor to just do that within healthcare. Let's find our beachheads, the raving fans, the people who really like what we provide. And then let's look at adjacent, like doctor offices and so on, or pharma and so on. And we sort of broaden out, and sooner or later we have all of healthcare. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think your business, the more uniformity you can get between your clients or the verticals and the niches they serve, the quicker you will get successful. That's what I mean with it. But if you go and you get people onto your true branding, and one of them is a doctor, the other one is in real estate, and the third one is a software engineer, you might not have enough uniformity to understand how to build their brand and be successful within their niches. Does this make sense?
Yes, makes sense.
Okay, we got to end this. Sorry, all over the place I felt there.
No, it's okay. I can do the recap if you want to leave.
I do have to leave. I'm really, really sorry. But if you can do that, that would be amazing.
Goodbye.
Actually, what happens with my live then?
I don't know. So we'll just say we went over the revenue model today, and we're going to go over completing that after I do a vision board. And for everyone else who's following and doing the same thing, do your vision board too. And then we'll come back to compare it for questions around how to create a team based on these revenue visions and goals.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone. We'll try to be on time next time. My bad.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.